Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day you're watching. Hi, this is TGI. We are TGI, and welcome to another episode of Party Chat, in which I've been given the reins this week.
You have?
Yeah. I've been let loose.
We'll see how that goes.
We will. Every Wednesday, we will pick a topic to discuss, debate, whatever you want to call it. We'll just have a general gathering of thoughts. This week, as always, myself, Ashley, Matt, and Dan, which I'm sure you're familiar with. So guys, topic this week. I got to choose and I thought, okay, picture the scene. There's been a power cut for several hours. You can't, being the gaming addicts that we are, you want to carry on gaming, but your TV's off, your console's off. What's the next best thing? The handheld console. Hypothetically, if you could take any handheld console in history with any game to play in a power cut in the dark, what would it be?
Okay.
Matt.
Well, first up, being the gaming addict I'm ever prepared, and I have a massive backup generator at my house. So I would continue to play my consoles on my TV very happy. But to answer your question, I did think about this long and hard, and there's really only one answer. So we don't know how long this power cut's going to last. You say several hours. It could be for days. You know, we could have lost power for the end of time. Who knows? So I thought, okay, I've got to go with a console that's battery powered, like AA batteries, because if you pick one that charges, what happens when you run out of charge? You can't recharge it. So that immediately gets rid of the Vita, the 3DS, the DS, all of those. So I've gone back to the Game Boy Color, which my assistant will present. Game Boy Color.
This is getting really corny very fast.
So yeah,
I'm going to do that again.
No, I thought the Game Boy originally was what I went to, but then I figured, well, we're in the dark, like you said. So the Game Boy Color had the adapter where you could get those little lights that you plug in.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So that will now, because obviously it's not a backlit screen, so you therefore light it up. So that's my choice for console. Game, it was tough. But by tough, I mean, was it going to be Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue? So I wanted to pick a game that had a lot of hours to play for it, because again, who knows how long it's going to be out for. We're only allowed one game, apparently. So I've gone with Pokemon Red. Hey, you brought the stuff. I didn't tell you to bring it.
I know.
On your own accord. So yeah, I went Pokemon Red because I prefer Charmander a little bit more to Squirtle. And it's just, I think it's a great game. There's a lot of hours to be played there. You know, you can go around collecting all the Pokemon. It's a game from my childhood that I have a lot of fond memories of, and I know you're not quite so fond of Pokemon.
I've never got into it.
No.
I don't know. It was a little bit later than my era, I think, and I was just getting a bit older. Where
just that wrong time.
It was. It was just, you know. I mean, I'm 5 years older than you guys, so it was just outside of my generation.
But yeah, so that's basically my choice. I think it was basically, they're one of the most successful selling handheld games of all time, if not the most. I don't have all figures in front of me, but I had a lot of fun playing it, and I know that game with that console would survive me for 100 plus hours easily, in which time hopefully the power will be back.
Well, you'd like to think so, you would.
So
I mean,
maybe,
just to summarise, in terms of handheld gamers consoles, for those of you that might want some retro gaming consoles to think about, we've got the Game Boy, we've got the Sega Game Gear, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, the Nokia N-Gage, which I don't remember.
No one remembers that. Even Nokia wish they could remember it.
Even the owners who bought one have tried to forget it.
Yeah, the Nokia N-Gage. The DS, the PSP, the 3DS, and of course, more recently, the Vita. There have been some others, I think, thrown in there, but they're certainly the big ones that were market leaders at the time.
Yeah.
So, Dan, with all that taken into account, dare I ask what you've gone for?
Right, well, first off, I did some thinking, and I thought, well, my actual gaming sort of like stopped handheld-wise at the Game Boy Color. But we threw this out as a hypothetical thing, so I thought, if I owned anything, it's just like, there's the Killzone PSP game that I wouldn't have liked to have maybe played. There's multiple Assassin's Creed ones that I could get hours and hours out of. There's the Uncharted game, which I haven't played on the Vita, but then I went and had the same thought as Matt of like, those batteries are only going to last for so long.
Yeah,
true.
So,
True.
same logic that he's gone for. Needed something that would be able to run without having to charge it. So that's obviously the older generation. Game Boy Color.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Elle wanted a game. Same thing. Hours and hours and hours. Matt was almost right. Almost right in his choice.
I was right.
Instead, I went for the next generation up, Pokemon Silver. Simply for the fact is, once you beat the game once, yeah, so you're doing the same things you are in like Red and Blue in your light area. Go around, defeat the gyms, then collect your Pokemon, level them up, go fight the actual gym masters for the actual thing. Once you do that, you then get the option to go back to the area of the older games and do it all again in a different area. So you're actually getting
the playability
double the game time
is a lot more.
So that even if the power is out that long that you manage to beat the first time round, you get to go and do even more again by reliving your journey in Red or Blue.
It's pretty sound logic.
I'd say so.
Not right, but it's pretty sound logic.
I think for
I've got nothing to come back on there. It's a good choice.
Yeah, I think I'd have to side with Dan on that.
With your expert Pokemon knowledge.
Well, yes, obviously. Myself, I was never a big Game Boy Color fan. I loved the Game Boy. I really loved the PSP. I think Spider-Man was probably my favourite game on the PSP. Loved it. But I know your argument regarding batteries and everything and how long the console would last, but I've still got to go for the Vita and Uncharted. Purely because it is Uncharted and... Sorry, my nose is running.
Sorry.
It is Uncharted, and I love Uncharted, and I just think it's just an amazing game. On the Vita, Uncharted.
It's a very good game.
Golden Abyss. And I just love playing it. I do. I really love playing it, and I think it gives me lots of hours of playability, and I really enjoy it.
Well, it doesn't though, does it? It will give you about 4 hours.
It'll give me about
dies.
4 or 5 hours, but I'm confident in the ability of the fix being done on the power.
No. See, basically you're trying to kind of jump out of a hole that you didn't realise you dug yourself into.
Okay, I did dig myself in a hole.
Me and Dan have thought about this logically.
You have thought about it very logically, yes. Yeah.
And
yeah, like the only comeback you could have against us is obviously no backlit screen on the colour, but being who I am and the fact that I'm a scout leader and I have all sorts of different torches, I could illuminate everything for years and I would be fine.
Yes, you could.
So
you could.
Or you could just use the wiggly wire that you get for the Game Boy.
I don't own the wiggly wire.
Oh.
So
were we allowed accessories? I mean, that wasn't part of your conversation. Because if we weren't allowed accessories, then I suppose, like you said, we'd have to makeshift it. And then there's probably like rechargeable packs that you could probably get for the Vita. So then you could just buy like a load of rechargeable packs. Maybe. I don't know.
Potentially. I mean, I think it was... I didn't really want to go that technical into it. It was more of a general thought.
You put the question
I basically thought I would grab a console, if necessary, grab a torch, and away we go.
Yeah. A little headlamp.
Don't mock. They're useful.
They are useful.
That's free lighting.
They are. I just have images of all of us sat in the dark, pitch black, on our couch, with a headlamp, playing our Game Boys.
Well, not you.
Well, not me. I wouldn't need
You'd
a
be
headlamp.
sitting there with no charge on your Vita,
Right,
sulking, while me and Dan enjoy our games
I
for
would.
many hours.
I'd just be running my fingers through the candle. So,
Good topic.
that's our topic for this week. It'd be interesting to know your thoughts on what your preferred, favourite, most nostalgic handhelds is throughout history and your favourite games. We'd be interested to know what your thoughts are, and we'll also be happy to comment on any comments there. If you've liked our video, then please click the like and subscribe button, of course. As always, every Wednesday, I'm trying to remember everything I've got to say here.
You're pretty much done.
Yeah, every Wednesday, party chat, different subjects every week, topic, and of course we've got our regular show, which Matt will tell me now.
The Game of the Week show, every Monday.
Mondays.
Hopefully.
We've been TGI, thanks for tuning in, we'll see you again soon.